Michael with Fourtitude RC. Welcome to our new in-shop video series. What we're going to do is have how to use our product, installation, things of that nature, and also some secrets that you learn while you're in the shop. So we figured recording it in the shop would be the best way. I hope you enjoy, and be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get the videos as we release them. Hey everyone, welcome to the shop. I'm making this video to show a couple new things that we haven't had out that long. Not many people know about for our glow fuel airplanes actually. Working on an old school Piper Cub kit from Goldberg, and I wanted to show you some of the hardware I'm going to put inside it. Let me flip the camera around and we'll get to it. The products I was going to show you is our single tank tray mounts, which we got one here. A lot of people know about the dual tank trays, and there's one sitting there where you can mount two for smoke or fuel. But we actually make them in single, which in this particular plane and a lot of glow fuel powered airplanes is going to be very handy. Also, we have glow fuel tanks, which is something new. We've had them for almost a year now, but we haven't really advertised it that well. As you know, with glow fuel powered planes, it's usually pretty tight to get the tanks in. And with the new V2 tanks, there's no fittings here. So you get a nice long skinny fuel tank body, and they fit in the airplanes that have tight tank installations actually really well. And this is one of them. If anybody's ever built a Goldberg Cub or a Cub of any kind, you know they got a really short nose, and the firewall is, you know, let me see if I can get in there so you can see it, but it's only maybe an inch and a half from the back of the tray. So what I'm doing in this one, we're going to use the tank tray. You can see I've already worked on putting some bracing in the fuselage. These spots right here to hold the tray in, and I made this. It's just a piece of plywood with a spar on it that's going to bolt into the fuselage, and then the tray will bolt on top of that to hold it in. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt that stuff in, and then I'll show you how I'm going to slide the tank in. Okay, I got the tank tray bolted into the airplane. Got the fuel lines run through the firewall. You can see here. Real simple, just 3 holes. Something to note, if you have an airplane where you really don't have room to hook the tank up, like this, where you got all this room right here, there's a trick. You can use an old push rod, the inside of a push rod, and just stick it into the end of the tubing. And then you can use this push rod because it's stiff, you can use it to fish it in through the fuselage, pull it through after it's hooked to the tank. Saves you a lot of trouble and a lot of fuel line. And you can use new push rods too, but this stuff is that crap that comes in a kit that you pretty much are going to throw away anyhow. So I'm going to go ahead and hook these lines up, and I'll show you putting the tank in. Okay, we got the tank hooked up to the plumbing. All the connections are at the manifold. So now all you got to do is slide it into the tank tray. Now what you want to do is work it a little bit at a time, just back and forth, just like that, and it seats in. And you'll feel when it hits the bottom, because it hits the ridge around the cap. This is going to be impossible to see because of this cabin airplane, but this is what the front of the tray looks like, and the tank goes into this hole, and it's press fit in there, so you don't have to worry about retaining the front of the tank. All you got to do once you have this done, make sure your lines aren't kinked, of course, you know. Easy way to do that is just blow in there and make sure you get good airflow, and then you use the strap on the back to tie it in, and it's mounted. You can mount it upside down, sideways, whatever, in relation to the airplane. fuel tank doesn't care because you can rotate the manifold in all 360 degrees. Okay, we'll get the engine on and show the completion. Well, I've got the final installation completed. As you can see, got the tank in, strapped into the tray, nice and solid. You have to rip the airplane apart basically to get it out of there, which is great. Also, with the Fourtitude tank, you can see crystal clear. You can see any contaminants in your fuel. Your fuel lines are hooked up properly. Just make sure you keep your installation nice and clean and run your fuel lines to where they're never touching the muffler. This applies to gasoline installations also. A lot of what we just discussed in this video you can use on the gasoline tanks too. The mount's the same. The plumbing's a little different, but the tanks and the mounts are the same. So if you guys got any questions, feel free to email us or comment on our Facebook page.